What is up, everybody? This is Joe Carlton. Welcome to the Sports Affiliation High Stakes Livestream Draft. Tonight we're doing NFFC $350 buy-in. Start, one quarterback, two running back, three wide receivers, one flex, one kicker, one defense. It's a 20-round draft. Quarterbacks get 6 points per touchdown, PPR scoring. And that's pretty much the format. I'm joined by Wil Miles, 2023 overall champion, and low volume savage Joey Brown. First time on camera. I'm pumped for it. What's up? How you guys doing?
Great, Joe. How are you, man?
It's been a long weekend, long tiring weekend. I was at a parade on the 4th of July. We took the kids to the parade. Then there was fireworks, and then Saturday I worked like a long time, and then today we went to my Aunt Patty's house. Same thing, swimming in the heat all day.
Sure, I get you.
Well, yeah. How about you, Joe? How was your weekend?
Mine was pretty good. It's been been a good week. I've been off all week. Had a week vacation. I'm getting ready to go back at it tomorrow.
That explains why you look fresh. You look fresh.
I'll be broke down after this week. But that's all right. It's fantasy football season. You can't complain.
Nice. So we got 3 minutes, 20 seconds until this draft kicks off. Willie is picking in the 2 spot. I'm picking from the 10 spot. I'm guessing you're going to end up with Bijan unless he gets picked first. That's going to be my guess.
I'm gonna go with a just bet rate of this is gonna be 85% Jabbar. I'm gonna go 10% Bijan and 5% Jameer. That seems to be the trend. So I can be proven gladly wrong, and Jamar falls to me, but yeah, that's most likely a Bijan train again, which is a beast. So
yeah, you can't complain. Just you can kind of build on what you've already done. Maybe make a better Bijan team, or kind of fluctuate the different players in and out, and give yourself an extra ticket there. Extra Bijan ticket.
Yeah, no, for sure. I already have one Bijan team. I like a decent amount, but I might mix it up following him if that's how it beats, because every draft's different. So.
Nice. So Joey, when are you gonna do your first 350, man? You gotta catch up.
I say pretty soon. I've bought it up. I ain't selected a date yet, but nice. I say probably within the next 2 weeks. Probably after watching this tonight, I probably want to jump in one tomorrow.
That was my plan to get you on here and get the fire going.
I know Billy sent me out a tweet asking me to join that one his tomorrow night.
Yeah, he called me out too. The only problem is I have a show, so I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
You can take him on. That'll be fine.
I've been two. It might even be 3. It's either 2 or 3 leagues with him already. So that's enough. That's way too many. That's 3 too many. To be honest with you, but hey, no. So we got 1 minute to go.
I tell you, that's the good thing about NFFC drafts or any draft you guys do. You can build a roster anyway. I mean, to what you feel comfortable with, how you feel like you can win. I'm sure when Willie built his, I've listened to that show about how he built his championship team. I mean, I guess a player gets comfortable where they draft. and how they feel like they can win. But in these leagues, you have to think on the fly and adjust round by round because everybody's going to take their guy. I mean, you can kind of throw ADP out the window just a little, but
absolutely,
yeah.
It's all with your gut. That's just my best perspective.
Yeah,
I agree. Sometimes, when what you're doing, the guy that's there calls like there's no you don't want to risk it. I can probably get real good value next round, but if you don't get him, you kind of sour the rest of the draft. So in those spots, those you grab your guy and then just go from there.
And guys, every draft's different because you can see ADP now at the front mostly, but like in the second and even now you see at the turn. Yeah, see that was pretty chalk. You can see at the turn that at the end of the first, it's just a whole different variation to what it was a month ago. See, and I figured Jameer was going to go next.
As he should.
As he should. Well, and he's still going to the 5 spot. I passed him up in the 1 draft.
I've seen guys get him at the 7, which makes me sick.
Yeah. No, he's got all the capability. So, again, the first 5 usually are going to be this from here on out, in my opinion, bar an injury. It's going to get interesting now to see what the 6th person does.
Yep, we got Chase 1, Bijan 2, Gibbs 3, Justin Jefferson 4, CeeDee Lamb 5. Pretty, like you said, that's pretty much seems about right.
I'm very intrigued though because if I'm in the 6th hole, 8 times out of 10, not 9, 8 times out of 10, I would probably take Barkley because I get all the faders of him, but I think that's just kind of bizarre in my general opinion.
No, I agree.
That offense is made for Barkley too. Philadelphia offense is he fit right in there.
He's just a different animal too. He's a different animal. That even if they were to dial him back a little bit, he's still going to be efficient as all hell. So it's like.
Now, I will say the pick that just went next. I think, guys, that's a lot of variation with that pick.
Genty,
now he's going the 2nd round a little bit. So.
I like him. I took him as high as 7, and there was the first draft I live streamed, there was a guy that took him at 5, and you hear me, I said it out loud. I was like, I can't say I hate it. Like I don't like it, but I can't say I hate the pick because if you want to start running back and Barkley and Gibbs and Bijan are already gone, which I'm pretty sure that was the case in that draft. Yeah, so I mean, I'm on the clock. What do I got? Who's available?
Oh, Joe, I mean, you got a whole slew at that back end of like 5 to 6 players on the reg that can go in there. Whatever you're feeling, brother.
I know. I'm looking. I gotta get me a Brian Thomas. I don't have a share of him yet. I'm kind of off of St. Brown. Maybe I'll get a share of him at some point, but not tonight.
I firmly believe in the Liam Cohen system after seeing it with Baker last year, and he's got playmakers in Jacksonville to make it work there too. Can't guarantee wins, but Brian Thomas is a beast, so don't mind that pick one big Joe.
And really, we don't know how, even if you went to Monroe, we don't know what's going to happen with Ben Johnson being gone. I mean, I'm sure there's still skilled players. They're going to do good, but you know, what kind of offense are they going? Is it going to be all Gibbs and Montgomery? Don't know. It's going to be interesting.
No, absolutely, Joey. And again, this is the 5 I'm talking about, guys. The 5 receivers there, and then I bet you Henry's going to be coming off the board here soon. But again, all those guys are going to mix and match come August and September. They all have value and perspectives. They all can be faded. It's just what your gut tells you on that given draft night.
Absolutely.
So I didn't plan on taking Henry here, but all the wide receivers any of those 4 I was going to take. and they all went. And I don't know if I like AJ Brown or Ladd or JSN more than I do Henry. So I think I'm going Henry. Yeah.
Great pick with Tractorcito, as some people call him. Now, I will ask you this, Joe, because the guy I was going to bring up just went next. Any thoughts on him after the big Pittsburgh-Miami trade? Because there's been a lot of fantasy heads on Twitter talking him up as now another less body there with Jonnu, disregarding Darren Waller. Any regard to him?
So how I see it is all these fantasy dudes that are talking him up already got shares of him in mid and they want to push him up. No, I'm just kidding. That's probably 75% of it. So my views are the same. I think his points per game when he's on the field, his points per game, are baked to his draft price. His ceiling is great. He's gonna get the volume. I like Ollie Gordon, and we know Jalen Wright really didn't show much in year one. That doesn't mean he can't take a step forward now. But, I mean, you got Tyreek and Waddle. Even if Tyreek is healthy and balling out, I mean, A-Chain's efficiency is always going to be there. With him, the only question with him is his durability. That's really my only concern with A-Chain.
Right.
So
I agree.
I mean, I don't have a Henry or A-Chain share. I don't hate if I went A-Chain there. I wouldn't hate myself for it. So, either one of those guys, they're in their own bracket, and then that tier drops after both of those guys. The running back jumps down a tier, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. No, there's a cliff. There's a cliff. Whew, I just took him in another draft. I thought about long and hard about him because I'm in a slow draft. I took him in that, and I was in the middle. I didn't want to double up on Mr. AJ.
Is that the one that just filled?
Yeah, that's just the one that just filled.
I'm pissed I missed that. I was going to jump in that one too because it started looking juicy based on the names I saw.
Oh, it's a decent room. That's for damn sure. But again, I didn't want to take. It would have been great value, AJ, there. But again, I didn't want to take him. Now I got to make a choice. Well, generally, I do like this guy in the third. However, I do think he just separates himself. I'm going to take Mr. McBride. I love everything about his game.
That was I was sitting there thinking I would have took him too. He's probably my number one tight end. I like Bowers, but I like the touchdown regression for McBride. I mean, all he's got to have 4 or 5. I mean, he just had 2 last year, so he's the real deal.
He is.
Go ahead, Willie.
No, he is, Joey, and I agree with you. I also have just other receivers almost in the same tier. My Bijan team that I already have him paired with Bucky. I was very fortunate to get Bucky there as Bucky's now moving up. So I wanted to change it up and go a little bit more pass catcher. So I'm fine with McBride.
Oh, absolutely.
And I live with the result.
I mean, you got potentially the number one running back and potentially number one tight end. I mean,
that not only that, but combined with the fact that you know which wide receivers you like in the next few rounds, you're confident, and it shows your confidence in taking a premium tight end there in round 2.
That's about like a wide receiver 1. Like I said, sort of. I mean, if you can get like I said, 4 or 5 touchdowns on a year for him that's a lot.
It is, and
I know it don't sound like a lot to most, but it is.
No, it is. It is. His touchdown progression hopefully is better this year, guys. Now, Joe, I'm very curious to see what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I kind of got a gift, but given the fact that I planned on going 2 wide receivers, then running back, and that didn't happen, and now there's a couple of real good wide receivers staring me in the face.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
We see what Team 1's going. I believe I know where Team 1's going.
I can't stop drafting the guy.
JSN. I don't mind that one bit. I think he's got a lot of upside with volume. And even with all the talk that, they're going to be run heavy, he's still going to be the premium pass catcher.
What's up, Daniel? Sorry to cut you off, Daniel. And try anybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Bring your questions. If you guys have questions, we're here to answer them. I mean,
bring them up.
We're both picking far away, so we're not going to be motor mouths the whole time. That's kind of why we brought. We got Joey in here. We got three really sharp minds. We'll answer your questions. Carlson, get this right. There's a Carlson, a Carlton, and a Carson.
Oh, yeah.
All in this draft. Yeah. I won't give away their spots. I mean, I'll let you guys figure that out on your own because I don't know how to hide the names. How do you hide the name? I got to ask Greg and Tom how you do that.
Carson's a regular.
That's really?
Sure. Yeah, Carson's a regular. He's a good drafter. I don't know. I've never live streamed, but you got some notable names like Hobbs, Dombrowski. Yeah. We already mentioned them. The great Duke Viveros. There's a lot of good people in here.
I recognize every name.
Wow.
So that's kind of how.
I bet you Duke's going to ruin my dream.
Yeah, there's somebody out there. I can't
he's
still out there.
He's so big on Jacobs, man. It's got to be because is he a Raider fan?
I think he lives. He's primarily.
And he always. I know he's on the Packers now, but I think that's where the love started from.
I'm blown away here, really.
Sean, okay, let's see. We got a question. So, Sean, we went over this at the beginning of the show. I went over it real quick, but I'll go over it again. The format is PPR points. Quarterback gets 6 points per passing touchdown. Everything else is pretty standard. 25 yards for a point for a quarterback, 10 yards for a pass catcher, or a running back, receiver, tight end. It's not tight end premium. You start 3 wide receivers, quarterback, 2 running backs, start 3 wide receivers, tight end, flex, kicker, and a defense. You get a team kicker, not a player kicker. I guess they do that to simplify injuries and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's third round reversal as well. So the third round is 12-1. And so the 12th spot gets their third guy first, and the first spot gets their fourth guy first. It is managed. It is a managed league. Fab free agents. You get a $1,000 budget for the season. And once the shootout playoff rounds start in week 15, 16, and 17, you can't make any more moves. So week 14 is the last week you can solidify your roster. So we got in the third round, we got team 1 with a Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Joe Burrow.
I almost ruined it.
I like it. I like it if he takes a certain player here and he didn't. I'm not going to mention the name yet because he's not off the board.
No, there's a couple. Well, there's one definitely. I'm kind of shocked that's not went yet.
I almost ruined it. But I didn't want to. Whatever. I didn't care if he was going to form the stack, guys, or not.
You know what? That's exactly what I would do with this. Is what I wanted the 1 spot, and that's exactly how I would have started it. Except I would have had somebody different in the 4th round.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I like it. I think that is the only way that you can. I think that's the ticket for Team 1. So,
right.
Kudos to that guy.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to finish that stack combo out.
I mean, how if you're going to have a Jamar Chase team, it's got to have Burrow. No, how does it not? How can you not go Burrow in a 6-point passing touchdown format?
All reliable.
I like Mike Evans. He's got a great playoff schedule. I don't have enough of him. I already had Terry in my last draft. Terry's probably gonna go off one of these as a wideout 3. I don't know. I like Jaden, and Terry. It's just, yeah, I don't know. That's just my perspective. And that's what happens. You go wideout early or tight end early like that.
Right. Yeah.
But Team 3 sniped me. Had 2 good wideouts. And look at that. There you go.
Nice. I'm not even going to give away who I was going to pick in the 4th round.
I'm
saving it.
There's 2 players I like out there.
I just decided I'm not going to give it away.
That's fair.
I'll mention them once they go, but
it's because it's a reach. It's only a reach because he's not going to be there.
There's one of them I was wondering when he was going to go.
But that's what I like about it, because it's a reach, makes it unique. So that's why I'm not giving it away. You guys will probably find out eventually. Hopefully, I don't get the number 1 pick until like September 8th, or whenever the season, and then nobody can copy it if it hasn't been done.
Right.
So I was worried about Kyron Williams. I was like, man, he ain't went yet. But
he's definitely. The cliff for me is Brees, and then the Kyron James Cook fans can all come with their pitchforks at me. I don't care if they do.
Right, yeah. Well, you look to me with the Brees Hall pick, basically he was a first-round pick last year, right? Or 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say you got another first-round option possibly if he comes back to form in round 3.
Come to think of it, I have a Bijan Brees team. Well done, Willie.
Yeah, I learned from the best. Joey, I think he's still got a lot of potential. A lot of haters are out there talking about how he could see limited action if Fields doesn't dump off or the usage of 3 running backs implements in New York with the coaching change. But the talent is there, in my opinion, and I'll ride with him and McBride. And yeah, I just got to see how the draft forms now, man. Every draft's different. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could get 40, 45, or 50 receptions out of him if everything goes well, or if not more.
We'll see.
Devontae Smith, that's a good pick.
Sean, if you're still there, and he asked just this 12-man. It is the 12-man leagues, so you get $1,500 if you win the league. Top 2 move on to the championship round, the playoffs. I'm on the clock. Let me just pick my guy because he's still there. I won't waste time with this one. There we go. Top 2 teams make the playoffs. You can get in as a wild card, but you have to outscore the first place team in your league if he got first place with the record and not total points. It's kind of confusing. You want to be in the top 3 in your league to get a chance at the playoffs, but if you can miss out being in 3rd place if you don't have a good enough points per game. Season average points per game. You have to be in the top 15%, I believe. Top 15% overall.
Correct. Yeah.
That's how you get in. That's how I got in 2018. I finished fourth in my league. That's how nuts that league was. 4th in the league, and I got in as a wild card because of the top 15%.
That's good.
It paid off too.
At one point, I remember last year there were 5 teams I was associated with. It was, I think, a big stream. Anyway, all were in the top 100. It died off where still they were in like the top maybe 350, and each made like a big run at the sweepstakes. It's just nuts how it could just form like that.
Yeah, and the 3-week shootout is for $250K at the top. $250K goes to the 3-week shootout winner. You start with your points per game average. So if you finish first overall in scoring, you're gonna start first, but you start with your what you average. So it could be like 176. If you average 176, that's what you start with. So it's not much of a difference. Like teams that are like 100 spots below you are only one big game from somebody away from passing you. So it's kind of once you get into playoffs, it's kind of anyone's game. You wanna have your teams pointing in the right direction as much as possible going into that round if you get in.
I did the opposite of what Willie did there. He won the whole thing. I actually won the online championship consolation round of 18.
Yeah, that was the same year that I finished fourth, Joey. I remember. And you would have won if your team made the playoffs.
I had a shot at first or second. I've just barely missed getting in the wild card. I had Willie. I had CMC and Derrick Henry that year.
Damn.
And I benched Derrick Henry week one of the playoffs for Austin Eckler because he was starting running back that week, and I had Ben Roethlisberger who got hurt that week, and I still won it, but I think I figured it up. I probably would have first or second overall if I had got in the wild card.
Right. That's nuts.
But I'm still happy. I mean, I only had one entry that year, and I won the 5,000. So I got lucky.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
I had Gurley and Henry that year, and I lost Gurley in the last week. It was terrible. I was the only Gurley team that was up there.
I had Hopkins that year too. He was pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins.
Dude, whoever team 3 is keeps just taking my guys right and left.
Jalen Hurts. I could have taken Jalen Hurts, but Kamara was still there.
That's fair. That's fair.
That offense will be interesting to see what Kellen Moore does out there. The quarterback plays the key, yo.
Well, now he's in New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I mean out in New Orleans with Kamara and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Well, I do have confidence that this offense will get re-going and Mr. Tua will stay healthy. So why not take me another share of Mr.
Yes. He's such a great price.
That's the man out there. That's who benefited the most out of that trade.
Let me see.
He's got the talent. I mean,
maybe you couldn't have. I was going to say, you think you could have waited until it come back around?
I wasn't going to take a chance with Team 1.
Yeah.
Or you mean 7th round?
No, now, like 2 picks, then yeah.
Maybe. There's only one other guy, and if he takes him, I don't care. Because that offense, the guy that I want.
I was going to say, I was just looking at it, and it seemed like Waddle was sticking out, so I kind of was going to negate the question, but it was already out there.
Yeah, I know, Willie, you probably drafted a bunch. Have you noticed any ADP movement in Waddle since the John Smith trade?
That's a reach.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest. I think DeAndre Swift I like him. I've taken him a couple times, but just waited. All right, that's perfect because then I can just do this.
Ridley, nice as a wide receiver 3. I like it.
So that worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But we'll see how the board shakes out now. And, his offense is still got to be proven, but he's going to be the main pass catcher. And, again, all 3 guys that I got are high volume. So, this is a good question from Sean. Joe, if you want to read it off.
Sean asks, how much do you guys feel is right to weigh playoff schedule given the format? Almost all of my volume is on Underdog. Willie, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Sean, and anyone else who's curious with this question, I have definitely taken that into consideration. I think the great, players in this league especially do take that into consideration, and everyone can project that there's favorable matchups. Injuries can get into play. I'm not going to go through the whole saga about that, but at the same time, you see it, you think, oh, this could work out in my favor. This could play out how I want it to. It all can change on a dime. I think it does weigh, though, at the end of the day in the high-stakes community. And you want to have the depth and you want to have the differentiation. once you get into the big dance, if you're lucky enough. I mean, these OLCs and prime times are no joke.
Mm-mm.
So you got to bring your A game each and every week, managing them and just being truly different. I was very fortunate the way I formed the one that I won it all. It was different enough to carry me to the promised land. But I was one injury away from any of my guys that I could not have been in that situation. I mean, Mari Cooper, for example, in week 16 had 51 points. It was great. But imagine if because he didn't play week 17, imagine if he didn't play that week 16 because the Browns weren't really doing anything. So it just all depends. But I take it a lot of favor, and we'll see how it plays out.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it plays a big part when you build these teams. But a lot of people build around the weather too in these playoff, and later in the year. But I always like looking at week 14 and week 17 Monday night games. I don't want to be left without at least one player from them teams in case you are in contention. That's the two games that I look at. Like the Week 14's league championship game week, and then week 17, if you're lucky enough to be in the dance, I like to at least have one. I don't have to have one from each each team, but did you have anybody going when you was on your week 17 run when you wanted the whole thing? Did you have a player going last game?
Great question, Joe. I did. I had as an insurance policy Romeo Dubs, and the only reason I had him in that game is because Amari Cooper was out. And of course, in NFFC, if you make the big dance for anyone that's interested, you cannot pick up any free agents past week 14. So that's it. I mean, that's the last time you can do anything. So it's make or break at that point. And I was fortunate that I had Romeo as just insurance. I was up 6 points, and Romeo gave me about 6 other points in case anyone had a crazy combination. I remember watching it with Billy, and I have at the point that anyone had any players left 35-point lead, and I'm just sitting there like, what if this happens? What if this happens? Like, my God, and then he's just like, just relax. It's okay. Just take a deep breath. It's not going to – look, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And, again, he's a great friend, and everyone who was in my corner was a great support system that weekend. So, you want to have an ace in the hole, like you said, Joey.
Absolutely.
I remember when the primetime winner, Gecko, he had Jahmyr Gibbs last week and bolted him up to first place.
Yeah, he had a big. Yeah, I remember watching that leaderboard. Yeah, he had it. He had the right player going that night.
No question. All right, Joe. Oh, there you go.
I was thinking about it. I actually think the other guy I was considering, there's a good chance he might still be there when it comes back.
You got the Minnesota boys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. Speaking of looking at the playoff schedule. No. So my advice for that, Sean, is I kind of use it as tiebreakers. So I don't want to say that I go into a draft with a plan, but I will look at the schedule and then decide the players that I like, and I'll put together realistic looking lineups based on ADP that could potentially pop if I'm in the playoffs during these rounds. And like Willie said, you're drafting against really, really good players. So it's not something that you can look at and be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to stick to this and I'm going to make this happen and we're going to execute it. It doesn't work that way. Unless it does, if you happen to flop the nuts, so to speak, and it does fall that way. But you're not trying to reach. You're not trying to go out of your way to blueprint something, because you could be missing out on value. Some guys fall in these drafts, and if you don't pivot properly, and same thing, other guys are pivoting along with the draft, so it's not always going to fall like you think it's going to fall. Every draft is each of their own. So I use it as like a tiebreaker, or kind of like I was looking at the players that were available in the next 2 rounds, in these 2 picks that I just made, and I was trying to put together something that might come in handy down the line, down the stretch, and to Minnesota's offense is going to be pretty good, so I was like, I'll do Aaron Jones and then Jordan Addison. I mean, Addison's been falling. He's probably going to get a 3-game ding. But, I mean, the guy is a stud when he's on the field. He doesn't have to deal with top coverage. Justin Jefferson takes top coverage. And I actually believe in J.J. McCarthy. So I'm a J.J. McCarthy truther. I don't think he can have a terrible season. I mean, so that's kind of how, what I was going for there.
Yeah, for sure.
And, I got 2 aging running backs. So grabbing a third, even though he's aging as well, grabbing a third, having a solid third running back can help your depth enormously, especially when there's what I consider a bit of a drop in tear after Jones, like after the next couple of running backs in that range kind of drops off. Then
right.
you're dealing with actual fringe running back threes.
Well, not to quote the great Tom Kessick, I am going to. Well, I got.
You took Debo. That was the guy I was going to take. I guess he ain't going to make it back.
No, he's not.
I'm in on him this year. I know people are like worried about him being in shape and whatnot, but I kind of like the situation he's in.
Well, I'm going to take this, as the great Tom Kessick has said, and we'll see how it goes.
Baker, yes.
I think it's a value, and I got the Mike Evans. It's fine. Like I said, I got my 4 wideouts, 2 stud running backs, McBride. Screw. I'm all Tampa and all the Florida boys, so we'll see.
I really like the Debo pick.
I was kind of shocked he was. I mean, not really. I think he's got a lot of upside, guys. There's been a lot of fat Debo slander out there about him. I don't have that many shares of him. So, yeah, screw it. Why not?
Yeah, I knew Duke would have probably go there too after seeing him taking Lamb and Pickens.
It's late for Mahomes.
Quarterback run this round. But I like Baker Mayfield. Man, he's underrated. He still ain't getting no much love, really. I mean, that's a good spot to take him.
Yeah,
Evans.
And I don't have an OLC with him yet. Again, he's not highly ranked, Joey, on my boards, but I don't want to have that backlash of not having a little bake show. And he's done very well for me in the past, man. So
yeah, he's solid. He's got better every year the last couple of years.
No doubt.
Pittman goes.
Excited to see what Joe's going to do next.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Coop.
All right, give me the tight end. Mark Andrews.
Andrews. There he is.
8th round, Andrews. I mean, his cost is he's another one. A great price this year. What's up, JC? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Sean wants a July 6th flag plant. Story of the season player. I'll give you one. It's kind of a bold take, but I don't think it's that bold.
Throw it out there.
I'm gonna say that Devontae Adams outscores Puka Nacua, and him going in the third round. If that holds true, that's a story of the year player.
I like it.
I mean, he's playing with Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford's an elite quarterback. Devontae Adams is an elite wide receiver, a veteran at that. Puka Nacua is an elite wide receiver. Who's going to get top coverage more? Who, if you were a defense, who would you put your top cover corner on?
That's fair.
Because I'm pretty sure Devontae was used to double coverage every single game. You know what I mean? And that might not be the case.
He's a talent that is ready to thrive with Sean McVay. Even his intro to the Rams, that Sean just, again, I'm going to talk about that Higgins pick in a second, but how Sean has really hyped him up and has gotten him into the culture. It's been outstanding to see. I think a lot can be said about the genius that Sean McVay is, and essentially from there, how big of a talent Devontae Adams is. Even in the lackluster games in Vegas and eventually with the Jets, he was just truly dangerous. I think, guys, and anyone who cares, listen, that if you can find dangerous, playmakers in these drafts, I think it bodes you very well. Because, again, they can pop for a certain amount, and you're in the driver's seat to very much so put up a lot of points.
I really wanted to pick Matthew Golden, but he was taken.
Yeah. I think Mr. Jaden Higgins should be in the same conversation as Mr. Matthew Golden in my professional.
I like it. Explain why.
Well, he's the number 2 to CJ. I think a lot of people he had a very much sophomore slump last year, but he's still a great quarterback talent. And Jaden Higgins going by Mr. Nico Collins is just – it's kind of filthy because Jaden Higgins is also a 6'4" frame. It's a big receiver. And you're asking now defenses to cover 2 of those guys. He might not be as fast and versatile as Nico, but it's kind of still electric and good on Team 11's a good player, so good on having the insurance with Higgins as your wideout 5.
I love targeting rookie wide receivers at this point in the draft because they provide that late season boost that you will need if you make it to the shootout. I know the year that I had a top 5 finish, I had Calvin Ridley in his rookie year, and I'm pretty sure he got me just under 70 points, I think, for the 3 weeks. So it's like, and that was my flex. He was my flex player.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I love it. I probably should have taken him and then went Andrews, or just lived with it if Andrews wasn't there. There's other tight ends you can pivot to. I underestimated the 11 and the 12 spot, I guess. Well, not underestimated, but I really thought Golden would have still been there.
Oh no, for sure. Well, who wouldn't think that Golden would have been there? Because he's a rook, and that wide out core in Green Bay, you don't know who's going to pop off, except for the end zone target, which years past have been Christian Watson. And guess what? He's not going to be back right away. So I anticipate, and I don't care giving this away, Tucker Kraft's probably going to be the main guy being looked at in the end zone. So
absolutely,
I agree, and he's another one going. He use it that tight end pivot that I could have pivoted to. I could have did Golden and then targeted Kraft. That was probably the play.
But we live with it and we keep moving forward. All right. I am.
Willie's up.
I think the whiteout's about to drop a little bit. And I'm just going on faith that this year 2 whiteout goes into a good system. I'm gonna go with Mr. Keon Coleman.
I like that pick.
We'll see.
You have to take a risk, somewhere these next few rounds. I mean,
why not? Why not him?
He started playing pretty good down the stretch a little bit too. So, and they've not brought Cooper back yet either. I mean, they may not. So,
correct.
More targets.
We'll see what happens, man. But I think he's in prime position to thrive in a good system. That's always a good feeling. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's like with the Debo pick too. And Jaden Daniels or Josh Allen throwing you the ball, good things are going to happen.
Well, and people forget, guys, that Deebo Samuel had pneumonia for over half the season. That's kind of bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got the running back, kind of a little bit of a running back run that round. Yeah, Najee, Tyrone Tracy, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet, Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren, and Ray Davis all go.
I love the great Ray Davis. He's a running back 2 waiting to happen if James Cook misses any time. All right. Well, I'm gonna bite into the trend because this guy could potentially be an RB1, and if I can put him as a flex, so be it.
Dobbins, nice. I like it.
I thought about Scatterboo Man, but I know how Sean Payton operates, and if I don't have to have JK as a 1 or 2, let me have him as a backup to these boys.
I like it. I think 10th round. I think I have a couple of them in the 14th and 15th round, but I mean,
my guy, Joe, do you know who's still on the board?
Mm-hmm. I think I know who you're talking about.
Your guy?
No, and he just the tight end just went past him. It's crazy. He might get stacked here. Wait a minute, where is he at? He still might be stacked. My God, this is going to be great value if this happens.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen if he realizes.
I'm going to say.
No, it didn't do it. He didn't do it. Oh my God! Maybe he'll be back on the way back.
Oh.
I know. I can't.
I wonder if Team 9 goes where I think they could go here.
Wow, this is a new. I mean, I saw it last minute. I thought about it other than JK, but I want my running back depth.
Mm-hmm. I will see if Team 9 goes that way. If you look at his roster, I think I know who y'all talking about.
There you go.
I'm hating my Andrews pick even more. Oh, no, he just went. All right, never mind.
Oh, it would have been a slam dunk, Joe, if he was there. My God. It's all good. Now, look, if I spend another capital, like draft capital on him, so be it. I love the Garendo pick. I don't know why I mean, I get it. I do get it that, again, you take the best value.
Yeah.
But you better hope CMC is going to be good.
Well, he's got A-Chain and Trevion. That's not a bad backup plan.
It's not. Oh, and that's the other one that, my God.
He's going to do the wait, no. Engram is gone, right? Engram already went.
He is. I'm just saying, have you, Joe, seen Bo Nix this late?
That's who I was wondering. That's who I thought y'all was talking about at first. I
don't know. I'm kind of worried about Bo Nix a little bit.
That's fair. That's cool. And look, I've gotten
for
good
redraft.
Yeah. No, I get you. I got good backups with May and Purdy with Nix. So I totally am on the same page. But have you seen him this late?
Round 10?
Yeah.
No, not usually. No, not this late. That's because Prescott went earlier.
Right. That's fair.
That pushed him back a little bit. And then Stroud went before him.
Yeah, I know. So I thought Team 9, I didn't know if that's who y'all talked about. I said Team 9 having Courtney Sutton. I thought he would go Bo Nix right there on the Kelsey pick.
Well, yeah, Joey. No, and that's he was also on my radar, but I didn't have to worry about it with Baker. But
Right.
Travis Kelce at 10-9 is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's late. 10-9 is very late for Kelsey. People worried about his age.
They are.
Stafford. Woo!
My man Hobbs has no fear. And again, Matt Stafford could be a great stack waiting to happen. And
well, he's got Puka and Devontae with him too, so
right.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I hate to keep the quarterback run going, but I think I might.
Mm-hmm.
You got a couple options, Joe.
I know. I think I'm going quarterback though. Let me just double check a couple of things here. Yeah, I'm going quarterback. Justin Fields.
Nice. Very nice. Man, look. He looks.
The floodgates are open, baby. Quarterbacks are going.
I think everybody has one now. Which only means that more positions drop back.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good for you over there on the back end.
Come on down, boys.
Yeah,
The water is fine.
I had to do it though because if I don't, then I get whoever's left when it comes back.
Oh, correct.
At least I got a choice of who I wanted there.
Joe, I'd love, and Joe, you can chime in too. I'd love your take on Fields because I've gotten him in drafts as early as the 11th, but I've also gotten him in as late as the 14th.
Right,
and,
he does, yeah.
And I'm like,
fluctuates.
Yeah, he does. So what's your take on him? Obviously, you took him here.
I think he's a slam dunk fantasy football wise. His sky's the limit for his ceiling. I'm in on the Jets offense. I think Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson are perfectly good centerpieces. It's consolidated. It's not too complicated for him. He doesn't have to make multiple reads. You're talking Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor at tight end. They might mix it up a little bit. Use more than one tight end, but it's a tight end. They're going to simplify his looks.
Right.
And then you factor in his rushing ability. So I had a conversation with Billy Waz. This was 2 seasons ago, maybe the year that Fields went down in like week 5. I forget what year. I think it was 2 seasons ago. And I told him, I said, Justin Fields might not finish top 5 overall, but I bet you he leads the league in 40+ points games at quarterback. And he was on his way until he had 2. He already had 2 40+ point games. Then he went down for the year.
That's fair.
So I like his ceiling. Obviously, I'm going to pick somebody else to back him up at some point.
And he's already got a plus. He's away from Arthur Smith, so the sky's the limit if he just plays.
No doubt, brother. No doubt.
I mean, with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson's intriguing too. He's kind of, see what can happen with him this year as well.
Hey, D'Angelo hates this, your boy, but I freaking love Mr. Marvin Mims. I'll take more and more of him as my wideout six. Give me him all day. I thought about him too.
Tillman's a great pick. This might be the first draft I leave without Tillman. Actually, But I've been getting them late.
stuff.
What round are we in? We're in round 11. I have them way later. I have a bunch of them way later.
And that's like me with Marvin Mims, but so be it. We ride. He's my wideout 6.
You know what? After round 10, it doesn't. It's your team is so deep at that point. It doesn't matter if you get them in round 10 or round 15. It's not as important as like the difference between round 6 and round 4. Like all those teams that got round 4, RJ Harvey. I mean, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to secure my quarterback room, gentlemen, and have another stack. I think that's kind of crazy. He made it to round 12, but you guys can agree to disagree. I don't love him as a talent, but him and McBride, I think, are going to do some special stuff.
Absolutely.
It's the format. It's the format, Will. You know, the running quarterbacks that can't pass get a ding. That's why Fields goes as late as he does. That's why Murray goes as late as he does. That's why Caleb just went that late. Like,
I like Murray.
Yeah.
I like Kyler Murray with David McBride.
Right. And I don't dislike, oh my God, that's okay, whatever. To each their own on the Denver. But no, I don't mind him, guys. He just has burned me the past 2 years. In a couple leagues. I think, though, he's going to be real charged up to do something good this year. So we'll see.
I agree with that take because he was blowed up last year, man. Anybody who watches fantasy football, they know who Matthew Burry is. He had him pushed up as ride or die last year. He pushed his ADP up a lot.
Right.
But Kyler Murray, he's really good. I mean, as far as fantasy wise, and that gives you more rushing, you know, with your running back room too, your roster.
Right.
But I like looking at Terrell's teams like Shaheed over here on Joe's side and Addison. You know, where he took them at, they could give you a couple more rounds up value. Like you look at Marvin Mims and Keon Coleman, they could give you 6th or 7th round value later on in the year. I mean, that's potential on some of these picks, like Addison, Shaheed, and Coleman and Mims. Mims was good down, and Coleman was good down the stretch.
No, for sure. Joe, what's your take on defenses? I'm very curious of that.
Oh, I just got sniped. I was going to take crap. I got to think. I'll answer your question in a minute. Now I got to pivot to something.
That's fair.
I don't know what, but
I like Kraft. He's the one pass catcher I trust more in Green Bay. And the potential's still there too for more.
What are we, round 12?
Yeah.
How many wide receivers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 4 running backs. Rashad Smith.
Oh, make it happen. Make his name happen, Joe.
Round 12 is about where he's been going, so I'm like,
yeah. You know what's crazy to me, guys, and especially like the underdog and the DraftKings best ball? You can get that man past 205 pretty much on any given draft. And it's bizarre to me that you can still get him there.
Basically free. Yeah. Just free pick.
It's crazy, and anyone who wants to let me have it, great. I'll gladly take Rashard Smith in my later best ball drafts.
He's good. Anytime you get a running back in Andy Reid's scheme of things, he's going to do good things.
Oh, so you asked me about defenses, right?
Yeah, when are you comfortable taking them?
So I used to make sure I grabbed an elite one, and I used to get it at like around round 13, 14. And then I realized how many good picks I'm passing up at that spot. So I kind of went away from it. I'm also really, really good at identifying and picking up an elite, a top 5, top 10 defense before they're discovered. You know what I mean? All the way. And I always carried 2 really good defenses like that in the past, but now where I'm confident in my skills in that, I don't necessarily reach for a defense. I just make sure that I get one that I like for the start of the season,
right?
And then I'll go from there. If I can get a good one, if a good one falls and like I'm in around where like I'm on the clock, right? I'm in a round where like
I like that pick.
Where like I have Andrews too, so I figured I'd stack them up. What was I talking about? Oh, if I'm in like round 15, round 16, even round 16, say is a good one. I've been waiting longer than that to take one, but if I'm in round 16 and I got sniped or there's no guys in my queue, all my queues just vanished. I might take the best defense on the board.
Sure.
And then navigate my way through the season to either add I like to carry 2 defenses going into the shootout. I don't know if you do that, but with 20 roster spots, you get 10 bench spots. If you can carry 2 defenses that can come into play for the 3 weeks, you're going to play one of them at least once, or you're going to mix it up. I like doing this. I like having that option. Obviously, things have to go well in order for you to accomplish that. I wouldn't, go out of the way to do it. Sometimes you have other priorities that you got to use your fab for.
Right.
So, but that's kind of my view on defenses. I usually, my goal, so I tell everybody, kicker and defense, your goal is to score 25 points between the 2 of them every week. If you can get 25 points between your kicker and your defense every week, you're in real good shape. Like, it doesn't hurt you. When you go under 10 for the week, that's when it hurts you.
Right.
So
yeah, that's the beauty of the NFFC too. Like later, with no more fab, having team kicker saves you a spot. No matter if one gets hurt or not, you're gonna have somebody kicking, so you can carry 2 defenses. On the playoff round if you see a good schedule.
And if you see this guy right here, Pete Nova, he does a good defense article every week, and he uses a lot of the same process that I use. It's one of my favorite articles that he writes, actually. He's got that defense. He puts it out. I don't know what day it comes out. It comes out before the waivers, because he obviously wants to help you with the before, obviously, for the waivers, but streaming defenses and whatnot. Streaming defenses article, very good.
Oh, this round really kind of just hit me right in the gonads because took my 2 handcuffs right away from me. That's fine.
Time to get your defense.
Hypothetically, but nah, I'm gonna take this value.
Kincaid, nice.
This could be his year. Yeah, he's due. I mean,
he is. Allen and
Wandale.
And I'm going to go. It's not the most sexy offense, I don't think, this year. Well, let me just check real quick.
Oh, I got to move the draft board so people can see what's going on. There we go.
Yeah, we'll see.
Keenan Allen, Rondale Robinson. Now you're up, Willie.
I am up. Well, I got to get some green going in my life eventually, guys. I'll go with the proven commodity, and it's just 1 injury away on an aspiring offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sexy, but it'll do the job.
Rico, I like it. I know a lot of people are discounting him, but he was one of the first free agent signings.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And like I said, I should have not gotten greedy with probably Mims and probably taken Algier. It is what it is to have that true just security blanket. But, I mean, Dowdle's one just start away from him and Trevor Etienne really carrying that backfield. But we'll see what happens with Chuba.
I know Joey likes Chuba.
Yeah, he's good. I was watching him here go, fifth round, especially if you go wide receiver heavy. I mean, that's a good anchor back.
Man,
I didn't pay attention to Team 12. I didn't know he had all the quarterbacks.
He does have all those quarterbacks.
He's trying to make it so I don't get a good backup, but it's not going to happen because there's still plenty of quarterbacks there. And I know he's not taking a fourth. All right. Let's see. We're on the clock.
That's what I was going to say earlier about Willie's team compared to the 3 team is you can, if you don't, you wait a little bit longer, but Algier is a lot cheaper than what if you're going to try to back up Guilds with Montgomery. It's about hard to do anyway. I would imagine, but Algier. But like I said, I'm not a big handcuff person. I probably should be, but I'm not as much.
No, hey, that's just confidence for your guy, Joe. I appreciate hearing that. And again, sometimes I overthink, especially like in best ball. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead. Get your.
Oh yeah.
Look at Nicky Chubb. What I was just alluding to, guys, is that I think at the end of the day that you can just make your way of however you want to. At the end of the day, you go with your gut and you just see how it plays out. And if your guy gets hurt, you readjust and just have the hopeful depth that can play. Like I got 2 studs in this draft, for example. Dang it. I thought he was going to fall back.
And I'd rather have J.K. Dobbins with Algier. I mean, if one went down and he's still healthy, I mean, you're still pretty well set.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. So I appreciate hearing that. I got different friends other than the ones that are close to me that bounce ideas off, and every build's different, and we'll see how it goes. So.
And plus, like if you have to use Kyler Murray, that's more rushing totals too in your backfield group too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Baker runs a little, but not a lot, but he does run some.
Right. Just hopefully Kyler throws an accurate ball. That's all I ask. But every draft's different. I could again just say that to him, beat it in through everyone's brain. But it is. And Joey, you know that. Joe, you know that. As you're going to make another pick with probably someone that you didn't anticipate being there.
Damn. We're in round 15, and both Pittsburgh tight ends are still on the board.
Not a lot of faith. But you can make it happen, Joe. Just pick the right one.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm going to go with another tight end, and it's somebody who I know is going to get targets. Boom! Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry. There you go, brother.
Oh, no more tight end run. Isaiah Likely, I was never going to pick him. I think that's one of the worst redraft picks there is right now.
Ooh, please do tell. I would love to hear this.
I just think that you're waiting for Mark Andrews to get injured. Like he's a better free agent acquisition than, if I guarantee you, if Mark Andrews gets to week 4 or week 5 and he hasn't missed a game yet, this guy drops Isaiah Likely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know
what
you're saying. There's no doubt here. I'm just I love hearing takes, man, as you know me.
Yeah, that's my take on Likely. I mean, why waste a draft pick on him, especially like this early? Like I could see taking him a little bit later. or if you have Mark Andrews, not that but I still wouldn't pick him. Like
Right.
I would much rather have Hunter Henry, like 100%. Like I'm a New England fan, so I already know that he's still going to be in the mix. They're not going to not use him anymore. He had the best chemistry with Drake May out of all the pass catchers we had. I know they just added 2 new pass catchers, but I mean that's not going to take away the fact that the tight end is still going to be involved.
Right. No, I get you. Hey, again, that's what's up. And again, he is truly waiting. He's waiting to the depths of how that's going to unfold. But I will say it's probably high praise that John Harbaugh did say he's going to be an all-pro talent if given opportunity. And that weighs a little bit in my opinion.
Isaiah Likely?
Yeah.
We're still talking? Yeah. Yeah, so he's actually from the same town that I live in right now.
Oh, really?
Nice. Yeah. So I know how talented he is, and obviously like what if he gets traded? What if they, I'm not saying they would ever trade him, but like in that scenario.
Sure. No, I get you.
I don't know. I wouldn't have taken him this early. If I'm taking him in the draft, it's going to be near the end if he's still there. I don't think I would use a 15th round pick on him. Just for the same facts that I stated earlier. He could end up a guy that you cut because you need bench space as a premium as the season goes on. And if he is just sitting there, when are you going to start him? When Mark Andrews isn't there? Like that's the only time you're going to start Likely. When are you ever going to start Isaiah Likely? That's kind of how I look. That's kind of how I look at it.
Definitely get you. Well, I don't necessarily like that. I mean, I don't like any Green Bay pass catcher, but Romeo Doubs usually goes a lot sooner, so I'll take that.
I like him as well.
I just don't know which Green Bay guy is going to be going.
He's a bit of a wild card too. So he's like a bit of a wild card. Like if there's rumors that he could be moved, if he gets moved, like it's obviously going to be to a team that wants to use him.
Yeah, for sure. I needed to withstand my urge to draft Philly's defense, so I went a little different route there. I think they're very talented, of course, but I think Buffalo's equally as talented in an easier division.
They are.
But again, Dubs and that whole wideout set, you just don't know. So him being my wideout 7, give me it all day.
Yeah, you can put him on the bench, see what happens, for a while.
Absolutely, man.
Joe, you ain't got a backup QB yet, do you?
Yeah, no, I don't. That's cool.
Joe's a smart player, and I think he'll know when to pick it. Let me just say that.
Oh yeah.
And I'll look at the draft board one more time, real quick. All right. On the clock. What am I doing?
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, this guy is so dynamic with his footwork and his movement. See how you're doing this?
No pressure, Joe.
Someone grab me a D.
But I've had fun. I'm gonna get off here, leave you guys alone. I appreciate y'all having me on here watching this.
You take it off, Joey?
Yeah, it's about time to get ready.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
I like being on here with you guys.
Yeah, Joey. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate the support as always.
Oh yeah, hopefully we all 3 do good this year.
Of course.
No injuries.
No injuries.
Just have the right backup or whatever. But I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, so good night, man.
Okay, bye-bye.
Appreciate you. Do I have a backup tight end? Oh, I do. Should I go ahead and take my quarterback now, or is anybody else going to be fucking taking a quarterback at all for the rest of the draft? Like, I don't think they are, right?
Well, that's why I said win. I mean,
you know who I'm going to pick. Don't say it out loud, but I think
I'm not going to say it. Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm waiting. I don't care. I'm still waiting. Did Darren Waller just go? Nice.
He went. He's back in the mix.
Let me look at the board one more time. How many running backs do I got? Chubb, Smith, Durendo, and then my 2 starters. 3 stars. Oh, shit. I got a lot of running backs.
I mean, the only one I would fear 4 and 1. Look, again.
Let's go back to the board. What do we got over there? 17 seconds. Yeah. I don't see any wide receivers sticking out to me. I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna get some more out of that Ravens offense.
Well, yeah, you get your insurance there and smart.
That was my pick the whole time. I was just checking to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
No, for sure. I mean, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be in round 17. That's just my opinion, but
you people get to see the process. Although you know what I like about NFFC. So I do with JC, and we do the drafters best ball drafts.
Mm-hmm.
If it's me, like I would have to use a different device to draft on and just show the draft board. But right. I like to, so people get to see my cue list and like what I do in the draft. I feel like it's good for content, but it might not be good for me. You know? But it's the $5, $3, $10, $20 best ball drafters. So, you know, I don't really, they're all lottery tickets. You know what I mean? So I don't really.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point,
it's not as serious as this. So
for sure, man, for sure.
Brenton Strange, I'm out on him this year. I think Travis Hunt is a stud, and ETN is involved. I think Brenton Strange would be like the 4th option at best, and that's not what you want for a tight end.
It's not. I'm intrigued because I think he finished with a lot of upside last year. That's the only reason I'm kind of shaking my head. Like
best ball, he's a best ball player.
He's a big best ball player. That's fair.
Yeah. What are we on? Round 17?
We are. We're closing in.
After you make your next 2 picks, why don't you roll through your team?
Yeah, that's fine by me. I can gladly do that. Oh, God. I get more green in my life, though. Gotta get more green. At this point, it's just chalk. Not chalk. It's just go with, like I always say, just go with your gut. I don't looking up and down the sample size. It's like, oh boy. I hope Brees and Bijan just stay healthy.
At this point, you're picking the guys that like they're dot throws. So you're picking guys who might have a path to some upside.
Well, this is unfortunately my.
You're going Wicks?
No.
Yeah,
I've got enough of. I'm gonna go with the 2 Carolina boys. God forbid that Chuba gets hurt. Everyone will just cuss my brains out if it happens.
Yeah, you got them both. I like that strategy. If you're gonna take Dowdle, take ETN later. I like it.
I don't have them, and again, so be it. Whatever. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pans out.
It's not that bold. I mean, you're picking them later on. You're securing an entire situation, really, and who knows how that might pan out. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Your best case scenario would be the next man up gets everything. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
But, it probably will not, and I don't mean everything, but like the majority of everything. You don't want it to be a 50-50 split.
No, you do not. Well, at any point, man, as you see, anyone can go down. So
yeah,
I'm just.
I like it as a back end piece, so to speak.
Oh, for sure. Oh, there he is. There's my boy. I don't know how he lasted this long. That's my guy. I love it. I love Dicker. Dicker the kicker. I thought about Minnesota's D to complement my D, but I mean, I'll fill that in with another matchup because they play the Ravens week 1. The Bills do. So my team, looking at it, remembered your question.
Yep.
I mean, my vision with this was going to be a Bijan hero team because I think he truly can finish as the RB1. However, that being said, just went my gut. And from there, having McBride as a potential tight end 1 could really take away a lot of hope from the position. And as certain people might think in my youthful strategy, and people want to smack talk, that's fine. No,
That's what you get for shaving. That's what you get for shaving.
I do. It's summertime. It's a great feeling right now. Bottom line is that McBride could definitely contend with Bowers as tight end 1. I love myself some Brees, so securing my running back room's great. And then having different options in yellow can, really shape the board how it wants. Again, I'm not crazy about Baker, but getting a little insurance with Kyler makes me feel a little bit more secured. And again, this team's going to be carried just on the premise that, again, my top, and like any draft, the top 3 picks can just do what they can do, and then rounds in shape with my decision making. So I don't mind it. I'm looking forward to seeing how I choose my wideouts each and every week. My flex options, I think, will be okay, and we ride. So, what do you think about your team?
I will go. Yeah, I will go shortly. Oof. So I like Baker. I know you're like, I don't know how I feel about Baker, but you got him in the 8th round, and this is a 6-point passing touchdown format. So I like it. I got one more pick.
You do have. Well, you have technically 2.
Yeah. I gotta grab that. I gotta grab that quarterback.
Look, you're. Hey, you knew all along that this was going to happen. And again, these guys are just like, oh, we're fine, and we got all the insurance in the world. We'll be okay to just keep riding the wave. Even though I got Justin Fields and very low end backup,
I'm not gonna. I don't hate the 2 quarterbacks I'm gonna end up with. I don't think I'm gonna get sniped. So I'm talking like I'm not gonna get sniped. But
hey, 4 quarterbacks. I've seen 4 quarterbacks before, so.
Hobbs is like, do I want a 4th quarterback? Yeah. Vikings D.
It's good value. They should have been off a lot sooner.
I like the Texans D over them.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying for the 19th round.
Yeah.
I okay. Well, all righty then. Okay.
All right. Give me the Donald. Give me the Donald. To go with JSM. So I'll go through my team real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. First round, we went Brian Thomas at 10, took him over St. Brown, Nakua, London, and Nico. Like you said, he's his first year was amazing. I was always big on him. I was reaching on him last year. Don't have any shares of him. Kind of down on St. Brown. You know my take on Nakua already. I think the other wide receiver is going to finish with more points. Drake London would be the only argument, and I don't think Drake London's worth picking over Brian Thomas. So, Brian Thomas took the King, Derrick Henry in round 2, JSN round 3, Devonta Smith round 4. I'm kind of higher on Devonta Smith this year than most. I think that Philadelphia's passing volume is going to go up. I think that they're not going to control the games the way they did last year. I think every team in that division is improved offensively, including the Giants. So, and they have a target on their back. They're the Super Bowl champs.
For sure.
Jalen, defenses are gonna do whatever they can to make Jalen Hurts beat them. That's kind of what I'm anticipating this year. So in on Devonta Smith as a wide receiver 3.
Do you want to hear my honest take on Philly's past situation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Even if I did take AJ today in this slow draft, you get a better value from Devontae Smith than AJ Brown.
I like it. That's only true if the volume is up, and
correct.
And I already stated that I think that's the case, so I like it. Kamara in round 5. You can't get a better. I think that's a great pick in round 5. I can't believe he was still there.
Right.
Aaron Jones in round 6. I like to carry 3 good running backs in this format. You're on the clock, by the way.
I know. I'm really not feeling this pick that much, but I'm going to do it. He probably might even get cut. You never know how Sean Payton's going to run. So there's J.K.'s potential backup as an RB3. I don't even know if that's a good pick. I'll cut him week 1.
I actually think Estime has a better chance of getting cut than he does.
Oh well, I hope he's on the practice. Oh, whatever. He's my running back.
You know why I say that is because they went out and got Dobbins. If they were in on Estime, they wouldn't have went out and got Dobbins. So I think Estime gets cut. I think McLaughlin's safe, to be honest with you.
Well, I appreciate that, Joe.
That's my take on that backfield.
Yeah,
and Dobbins is gonna be the guy. He's gonna be like the Najee, and RJ Harvey's gonna be like the Jalen Moore. That's kind of how I see that. But
sure.
But I also think that Dobbins, like you said, Dobbins has a path to RB1, and it comes in the form of RJ Harvey being a rookie.
Yep.
So we know what Dobbins can do in a good offense when he's healthy.
Absolutely, and you just gotta have good faith that he can carry out that vision. So,
always been on Dobbins. He burned me. Was it a couple of years ago? I forget what year. He was going in the 5th round, and that was a value. And it was because he was coming off an injury, and he never even played. I don't even think he played a game. I can't remember, but he didn't. It was a waste of a pick,
right?
And I was like, damn. And even still, I couldn't stop drafting him. The next year, I took my shots on him. Still.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Chargers D, and just see how that pans out.
You too, Hector, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, we'll see how this 2D. Oh, I might spend. Well, no, I don't. I got 2 quarterbacks. I'm fine.
I have to take a kicker, right?
Yes, that is your pick. I'll throw it out. I don't care if you might get sniped, but.
Oh, excuse me. No, go ahead. I don't care. Throw it up, because I'm pretty set on who I'm picking. But go ahead.
He is my QB1's kicker, Mr. McLaughlin. I think he's got a lot of upside. You should have Well, we'll see. I think he's just that's my round 20 guy, man. I always hope he falls. He was top, I think, 2 or 3 kicking last year in the especially fantasy playoffs. So hopefully you get him. Hopefully I didn't jinx you. Oh man, maybe. Hey, him or I have another one that is dear to my heart.
It's okay. I was picking the same kicker all along. Is it my turn?
Yep.
I'll tell you why I'm in on this guy. It's because the offense is going to have a better year. They have, I guess you could still call him a rookie quarterback since he only played partially last year. And I could see them getting multiple field goal opportunities as well as multiple extra point opportunities. And I'm pretty sure he plays indoors. So, boom, there it is.
He pissed me off a lot last year, not gonna lie to you. He pissed me off a lot in the years past, but I get it, brother. He does play indoors. I hope he does better for you. He's on my shit list.
Nice. That happens. That could happen. People being on people's shit lists are the reason why values present themselves in fantasy football drafts.
Correct. Well, Joe, another one down. I think this one went very accordingly, like for both our teams. I like your build. I'm all an AK-41, so that was a good selection. The 5th.
I didn't really look at all the teams. I was kind of focused on chatting with you guys and making my picks.
I appreciate that. I think we can how about we each do 2 teams we like.
All right, you go first, but we'll do one at a time so we have time to look.
Yeah.
We don't snipe each other. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no,
right,
I definitely understand that. And I appreciate that.
You go first.
I will. I'm gonna just quickly look over. I'm gonna look at the first 10 rounds. How about that?
Yeah. The core, the lineup.
Yeah. That you're going to battle with.
I'll go first since I already picked.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you got it.
I'm gonna go with Hobbs in Team 12, and a lot of the player selection I don't necessarily agree with, but what I will agree with is he leaned into his build very well.
He did.
He went Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams, much to my dismay because I'm still 5. This is my 5th online challenge, and I have 0 shares of Devontae Adams because I keep getting friggin' sniped. The same guy did it to me 3 times. The Greer guy, that Donald Greer guy, that the FFPC player who decided he was going to come and spoil our plans over here at the NFFC.
Right.
Took Adams 3 times. It's 2 or 3 different times on me. Right, and I picked next to him all every single time. But anyways, I absolutely love the Stafford stack. 100% down with that. That could pay off huge. I love his round 10 value on David Njoku. This is excellent. His running backs, James Cook, is great. Back end around for James Cook is phenomenal value. Right. I know he's in a contract dispute right now, but there's nothing that screams to me he ain't going to be playing. So then you got Chuba, Montgomery. You got Montgomery as a very safe floor for an RB2, even if something happens to Chuba. You got Harris that does the same thing that Montgomery does. You put the right archetypes, running backs, in place for this build.
Of course.
You got a tight end at value in round 10 who has enormous upside, especially if he gets moved. You got Stafford, Herbert, and Lawrence. You made sure you triple tap quarterback and one of those is going to hit. I will say this, though. If 2 out of the 3 hit, you better be good at picking which one's going to play.
That is my only critique about the 3 quarterback strategy that way. You better have the luck on your side and just a good feeling about each one.
I would have skipped Herbert because he's the same as Stafford. Lawrence has the upside, so I would have been happy with just Lawrence and Stafford. Sure. Let's see who you passed up. You took Herbert and you passed up Rashad Bateman. You passed up Algier, Braylon Allen, Jack Besh. I mean, there really isn't that many good players, I suppose.
No, that's fair. Now,
yeah,
I'll throw another curveball at you. How about this, Joe? You think he could have taken Matt Stafford in the 12th round and Lawrence, and then gotten like a Tootin, Benson, or Jalen Wright, or any other? No, I think all those values right there.
No, and I think I made him reach there because 2 rounds before that. Or it might have even been 1 round before that. Actually, it was before that. Before it came back to this side, I was talking up Devontae Adams. Okay, and we were talking about how I don't have a quarterback yet. So I think this factored in to his Stafford pick because I mentioned Stafford being elite.
That's fair.
Stafford was certainly in my queue at this point in the draft. So, and he has Nakua and Devontae Adams.
I got you. No, hey, definitely.
So you go out and get that guy. Yes, he could have waited in some drafts, but I think he knew. The people around him. He knew I needed a quarterback. Even if I don't take him where I take Fields, it's coming back to me. You know what I mean? So I have 2 opportunities to take a quarterback. So I don't hate it. I don't hate the reach at all. This is when special cases call for reaching, and when you have a build like this, like he completely smacked the grand slam with his build. His roster construction is phenomenal in this one, and that's what Hobbs does. That's basically his strength is his roster construction. He always puts a team that's going to be like within the top 5. Like I never see him finish 12th or 8th or 9th. Like he doesn't draft that way. He knows his build. He leans into his builds, and he just trusts it and goes with it because he's a high volume drafter, and that's what he should do. So.
No disagreement there. Mr. Will Hobbs is definitely.
He even locked up Jacquez as a handcuff. Like he's got that whole Rams offense, and I'm telling you now, I've already put money on it. The Rams going to the Super Bowl.
Well, there you go. Again, he's got Sean McVay leading the charge, and I think you got to always watch out for Mr. Hobbs. So I definitely agree with that. I got 2 teams I like a lot. I think Duke did a good job. Getting value with Jacobs and Kyron after taking his 2 pass catchers. He's going the same strategy with the Dallas boys, and I've seen it from one of my good friends, Frank Mamola. He did it with Pickens and Lamb, and you know what? Duke did the same strategy, and he even got – I hear a lot, and I told you this when we were on with Billy. I like the outlook of Rome more than others, and I'll gladly beat that drum down to a pulp. And people can disagree with me on that, but you getting him and Josh Downs as a 4 and 5 is great. And I like Tyler Warren, and you know what? Good on Duke. I like this team a lot. And I'll throw out team 3. Gamberg, I think just initially with his top 5, I just poo-pooed AJ Brown, but you get Jahmyr Gibbs, AJ, T. Higgins, Scary Terry, Jalen Hurts in the late 5th. And you get your tight end, you're going to be competitive. So you just got to hope your bench is going to hold up if one of those guys goes down. So
I'm fairly out on McLaurin as far as ADP goes, but to get him as a wide receiver 3 is proper. It's like Zay Flowers. His ADP is up too high, but if you draft him as a 3 or a flex, he could pay off.
Oh, no question, man. Yeah, I mean, I got Terry as a 3 in that recent draft, the Gecko draft. And I was thrilled. I wasn't just comfortable as him as a 1. I even said it that night. That being said, Mike Evans is older, and I mean, whatever. We ride with Mike in this draft.
All right, I'm gonna gravitate towards. I think I'm gonna go with Team 1, even though it could have been better, and I'm not gonna get into what I would have done. Love the first 3 rounds. This would be my plan 100% if I got the 1 spot. So hopefully, Chase Brown reach is worthy there. Joe Burrow at the 3-4 turn is worthy. I don't hate the DJ Moore pick. I just would have picked somebody different. Flowers' value is great. Yeah, Flowers in round 6 is phenomenal as a wide receiver 3 too. It's not like he's a wide receiver 2. He's a wide receiver 3, and you got him in round 6. Hawk, I've never ever been in on Hawk. I think he has durability concerns. Has always been it with me. Even the one season he finished off strong, I felt like he left a couple of games injured. But he had already gotten like 17 points, so it went unnoticed. And then he was healthy the following week. You were being cautious with him.
Right.
Yeah, he scares the hell out of me when it comes to durability. And he's got Goddard as a backup. So tight end could potentially be an issue here. But
right.
And I love the Cedric Tillman pick.
Yeah. Let him have
it. And I mean, I don't know exactly where I'm at on Kyle Williams yet. I want to see some preseason activity.
Right.
I plan on attending some training camps, and I'll see how he's doing, with my own eyes. But I suspect that he's not going to be heavily used. I don't think he's going to get volume enough to be consistent. So you really, really, really got to know when the spot start him.
Right.
I think it would take something. It would take something to happen to Diggs in order for him. And, if something happened to Diggs, then he would be certainly. It's like Diggs is potentially could miss the first handful of games, but is a rookie wide receiver going to step in and immediately get high volume? I'm not confident in it based on what I know that Josh McDaniels likes to do in the offense. He drafted Travion Henderson, and Ramondre's not going anywhere. I think Ramondre still gets a decent amount of volume. So I'm not completely sold on Kyle Williams in year 1 as a fantasy asset, but I could be wrong. We'll see. But that's my take on Team 1. I think the Swift pick was a reach, but he's probably not going to be there at the back end of round 7. So,
no, he will not have been. And
so if you're in on him over Aaron Jones, RJ Harvey, David Montgomery, Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis, if you're in on him over all those guys, then I guess I can't hate the pick.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am starting to feel, whatever, this is my tidbit, I think the value which you can get Caleb Johnson is appreciate D'Angelo. But and I will talk Mims till the day I die, I guess. No, but anyway, I think Caleb Johnson's a really good value right now after hearing just different reports from Tomlin and the beat reporters. That's my only guy that I would pick over Swift. Connor sometimes drops back there, and I would take him, but I'm liking myself some Mr. Caleb Johnson. I would have been bold. I would have taken him there.
I still like Aaron Jones from this group. I also like Travis Etienne, but he didn't even make it that far.
Right.
He's moved up a little bit. I've seen him go as late as round 11, 10, 11, 9, and this one he went in round 7. to a running back needy team. So that's what happens. If guys need running backs, ETN's name is there. And at that particular tier, if you need a running back in the starting lineup, I can see pushing ETN up.
Right.
But all right, man. This has been great. This was pretty good. This was a fun draft.
Absolutely.
Appreciate everybody in the chat that joined us. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the Sports Affiliation, subscribe. We got a lot of big things planned, from now until the start of the season and then throughout the season. If you like our content, definitely do that. Hit the notifications, put the notifications on. We do mock drafts on Mondays. We do show on Tuesday, Aces Up. We have Thursday check down. All good stuff. We're trying to bring on some really good guests and help you guys get better at fantasy football. That's our goal. Will, you want to tell the folks where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, if you want to hear any, dramatic rants regarding this wonderful outlet, then you can find me at Twitter at Wil Miles with one L, WILMILES 263. Active on there fairly enough, to hopefully just give my takes and reply to takes. But again, it's just a fun-filled summer ahead. There'll be more drafting. I appreciate Joe letting me coming on the show once again. It was a fun time. And the biggest little takeaway is, again, I remind myself, is every draft's different. So you all might see this board and might be interested in high-stakes realm. Just know that ADP will follow these players for most spots, but every build's going to be probably looking a little different when it comes to the big dance. So good luck to everybody and good luck drafting this year.
Absolutely. You got guys out here trying to put some unique builds together, something that hasn't been done already. That's kind of, you want some uniqueness with some upside. Every draft is different. Like we talk about Hobbs' team, he really leaned into his build. He timed everything the way he wanted to time it. Some of the picks were reaches. Some of the picks were values. That's kind of where you want to find yourself. You don't want to be reaching too much, and you don't want to just wait for value at the same time. You gotta,
right.
you gotta have a vision on what you want to do with your team, and kind of make it happen as it goes along. These are tough drafts. They require some trial and error for sure. But anybody can win, so it's not like it's unbeatable.
Daggone right, brother. And we just keep plugging away, us enthusiasts of it.
Nice. Well, we'll appreciate you for coming on. We're gonna get out of here. It's getting late. We're on the East Coast. It's like gonna be almost midnight, if not.
Almost indeed. And again, we got to recover from the 4th weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I hope you have a good night. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. We're out of here.
All right, Joe. Thank you. See you guys.